Okay, good morning, good morning. Welcome everyone, welcome to North Branch Nature Center. I am Emily Seifert, I'm Deputy Director here at North Branch. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm so happy that you joined us this morning. I also want to introduce my colleague Matt Delegati, who coordinates our business membership program. Please this morning, if you need anything, haven't already found the restrooms, or have any questions, please grab either of us. We're excited to get to know each of you. I want to thank Kelly and Kate for organizing today's Outdoor Career Pathways meetup and for inviting us to host it. And also thanks to our friends at Wikimedia for recording today's event. I'm going to briefly introduce you to North Branch and to our topic today through the lens of this organization, this lovely little nonprofit, and then I will turn the mic over to our panel. So I'm going to start by asking for a show of hands. Who has been to North Branch before today? Yay, welcome back. And a special welcome to all of you who didn't raise your hands, first timers, thank you for coming. We are Central Vermont's only nature center. We are a nonprofit in our 30th year, and our mission is connecting people with the natural world. We are a recreational hub for this entire area. We have multi-use trails that people use for walking, birding, biking, cross-country skiing, swimming. We have the best swimming spot in town. And they also connect to hundreds of miles of other trails and public access space. So it's a real hub for Montpelier and for Central Vermont. We also fulfill our mission by offering hundreds of nature-based programs throughout the year, ranging from summer camps and nature festivals to teaching partnerships with 17 area public schools, to week-long classes and trips for adults, both here in the Northeast and around the world. So next time you get a travel bug, think of us. To tee up our conversation, I'd love to get a sense of who's in the room. So another show of hands, please. Raise your hand if you are a student or a recent grad. Great, welcome. Woo, that's a lot of students. That's awesome, and grads. Thank you. How about if you're representing a for-profit company? Welcome. How about like a university or some sort of teaching program? Great. Other nonprofits and foundations, raise your hand. Great. Raise your hand if you fit into more than one of those categories. If you wear or have worn several hats over the course of your career. Great, thank you. So many of you also already know that nonprofits are in fact businesses with some of the same operational challenges that all businesses face, from risk management to marketing to attracting and retaining employees. What's different about nonprofits is primarily our governance and our income structures. Here at North Branch, a full 60% of our annual budget comes from earned income. Mostly that's program fees and contracts with the public schools. The other 40% is contributed income. That's grants, gifts, and memberships from individuals and businesses and foundations. So at North Branch, we don't have a significant cost of goods line in our budget, like many of you might if you're with a for-profit, but we do have some really cute shirts and hats in the lobby. But by far, staffing costs are our largest cost. And that's for very good reason, because without the people who offer the incredible programs, this would just be a pretty place. So my 19 colleagues and I are naturalists, wildlife biologists, licensed teachers, conservationists, project managers, community outreach specialists, and finance and fundraising professionals. Most of us are full-time year-round, but we hire extra educators in the summer, and we usually welcome 3 AmeriCorps members every year, folks who are in the early stages of their careers, and come here to serve the community while they gain on-the-job experience. Sometimes we hire AmeriCorps members as employees after their service, like our 2 newest teacher naturalists right now. We also hire folks out of graduate programs, especially UVM's Field Naturalist program, from other universities, nonprofits, and schools. These days, we typically attract a dozen or more highly qualified candidates for each position that we post. But we have 2 major challenges to actually hiring our top candidates and keeping them. First, our compensation packages lag behind those at for-profits, government agencies, and public schools. And through targeted fundraising, we are making steady progress on that front, but we still struggle to offer a living wage, let alone a thriving wage. The second issue comes when our new hires look for housing, let alone affordable housing. It's not within our mission area to address directly, but we do support housing initiatives that incorporate smart growth principles. As Vermont addresses the housing crisis, we cannot and need not abandon environmental protection as one of our core values. So, what we do focus on here, welcoming our whole community, offering a wide array of educational programs, stewarding this floodplain property that so many people love and come to every day. And we work on connecting people with nature and with each other every day. So if that sounds like something that you want to be part of, I'd be remiss if I didn't invite you to become a member, either as an individual or as a business. We currently have 800 supporters, including 26 business members who enjoy some great brand exposure and other marketing benefits from their membership. So take a look at the sheet in your binder or chat with us if you're interested in that. We'd love to have you as partners in stewarding this amazing place. Lastly, I hope that you will join Matt after the panel for a walk on our Universal Access Trail. But if you didn't dress for the rain, I'm also happy to give an inside tour of the building, and you can take in this beautiful art exhibit. So I'm going to pass the mic over now to our facilitator, Brian Lemereau, VOBA's Outdoor Careers and Business Development Manager. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, panelists.
I get this one. Thanks. Thank you, Emily.
Yeah.
And we appreciate the North Branch Nature Center for hosting VOBA today. And thanks to all of you on the panel and everyone in the audience for joining the third event in VOBA's 5-part networking series. We're highlighting key issues of the Move Forward Together Vermont initiative. I'm Brian Lamoureux. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm serving as VOBA's Outdoor Careers and Business Development Manager. In case you are new to the VOBAsphere, that's a new term I'm trying to get going. The Vermont Outdoor Business Alliance is a statewide nonprofit organization of 150 businesses and organizations working together to strengthen Vermont's $2.1 billion outdoor economy. Since 2018, activities have focused on networking and learning, research and branding, business and workforce development, and policy advocacy. Today, we are focusing on Vermont's outdoor workforce and career pathways. There are over 16,000 people working in Vermont's outdoor workforce that are essential to the prosperity of our economy. They are the engineers and designers behind our gear and apparel manufacturers, technicians and mechanics offering service in our retailer ski and bike shops, outdoor educators guiding trips, hospitality staff creating lodging and resort experiences, trail builders crafting our recreation networks, filmmakers and graphic designers telling our stories, and many more, including IT, finance, and human resources. Thanks to the support of the Vermont Outdoor Recreation Economic Collaborative, or VOREC, and the Vermont Department of Tourism and Marketing, VOB has made great strides over the last few years in addressing the recruitment and retention needs of our outdoor employers. Through VOBA's Technical Skills Training Initiative, we administered 19 snow sports, bike mechanic, and trail builder workshops taught by industry experts like Josh here, providing expert knowledge and hands-on experience to 125 current and prospective employees, including 30 folks from underrepresented communities. We've also developed several outdoor career marketing assets with support from the McClure Foundation that successfully tells the stories of professionals who love their jobs in Vermont. A series of career spotlight videos available on the new VOBA website and also on this backdrop here, which we'll play later, are designed to attract prospective employees to Vermont's workforce, whether it's graduates from high schools and colleges, professionals thinking about reskilling from a career in another industry, or those seeking part-time work from coming out of retirement. You can watch those videos playing on a loop during the networking time, and make sure to check out the list of employer job boards and other resources available on the new website. We've got a great group of panelists here to offer their knowledge and perspectives about the outdoor workforce, career pathways, and resources and strategies available in the state. After the panel, instead of opening the floor to questions, because time's limited, we'll go right into networking time for everyone to ask individualized questions with everyone, and hopefully develop some new connections. Panelists, after I introduce all of you at once. I'll pass the mic down the line. You'll each have the opportunity to present your unique perspectives on resources, what you're working on, and opportunities for collaboration and partnership. Kate, back over here, will hold up a 1-minute sign, and then it's thanks, Kate. So right to my right is Josh Gauthier. Am I saying that right?
Gauthier, you're
Gauthier.
American.
Okay.
Gauthier if you're French.
Gauthier? Okay.
Yeah.
Josh is the retail director at Ski Rack. Then we have Maria Rossi, who's the human resources manager at Bolton Valley Resort. Brad Moskowitz at my alma mater. He's the professor of outdoor education, leadership, and tourism at Vermont State University, Linden. Then Tino Ruanhira, who's the executive director of business development at the Vermont Professionals of Color Network. Tino, do I have that? Ruanhira?
No, that's the American version.
I only know American, I guess.
I only speak American.
We've got Bo Malcolm, who's the senior community engagement manager at Vermont Youth Conservation Corps. And then David Kaufman, who's a senior lecturer in the Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Department at Rubenstein School of Environment at UVM, or the University of Vermont. Josh, I'll give it to you. You got that one.
I prefer to not use a mic, so if everybody can hear me, I'll just speak without it. So my name is
Yeah, you're good.
so my name is Josh. I am the retail.
Sorry, repeat it for the recording.
Yeah.
Oh, I get
I'm the retail sales and service director at Ski Rack. My plan is to talk a little bit about who I am, how I got there, what Ski Rack is, and tie all that together with what we're here today for, which is career pathways and workforce development. So I started at Ski Rack about 10.5 years ago as a ski bum coming back from Colorado, spending a winter in Crested Butte. And I went to Ski Rack Patagonia Burlington, who is a store in downtown Burlington that we locally own. So it's a partnership, 2 stores under one umbrella. And I actually started working at the Patagonia store because my friends worked there. And over the course of a year or 2, I realized that I could find a career in working for Patagonia Burlington and Ski Rack, a locally owned store. And we recently celebrated our 50-year anniversary just before the pandemic kind of hit in 2020. I went to school. Dave was actually one of my professors a few years ago for recreation land management at UVM, and thought I'd go into the public sector working for nonprofit or city government, which I ended up doing for about 1.5 years immediately after graduating, but quickly realized that the 9-to-5 grind wasn't my thing. So ski bummed for a bit, realized Vermont was a really special place and couldn't really live without it. So came back and thought Patagonia Burlington was a great place to get a job while I tried to figure things out. Lo and behold, 10.5 years later, I've realized that outdoor retail, especially in Vermont, is an incredible place to be a part of and to work in and create a career through. Ski Rack has been owned and operated by the same individuals, more or less, for the last 55 years. Husband and wife, now son, run it. Our mission is to inspire people to be outside, to be healthy and active, as well as try and steward the land and the resources that we use to have fun on. So regardless of whether or not we're for profit, we work a lot with nonprofits because we all share very similar interests, which is, we need to have the outdoors in order to sell the things we have in the store. But more importantly, is just to create a sense of community. And that's kind of what I've found through working at Ski Rack. Over the course of my 10.5 years, I've gone from sales associate to assistant store manager at the Patagonia store, working in warranty, and then transitioned into the store manager role at the Patagonia store. The pandemic hit. You probably all know bikes got really, really popular. I was also a part-time bike mechanic while also working at the Patagonia store. I split my time. And then as the pandemic unfolded, I kind of focused my efforts at Ski Rack in the bike world. And over the last 3.5 years, I've now taken over pretty much anything that is the retail front, whether that's the service shop, which I helped to manage for a couple of years, to the Patagonia store and everything in between. So I manage day-to-day operations with our store managers and assistant store managers, as well as set strategic decision-making and long-term vision for the entire company on a director and ownership level. And how all that ties into what we're talking about today, workforce and career pathways, something that has transpired, especially over the last couple of years with us at Ski Rack, is just the evolution of the outdoor retail sector, and especially just the retail sector within Burlington. Burlington is a very expensive place to live. We also have other factors that are impacting our business: construction, theft, the unfortunate drug use issues in Burlington, and the list goes on, right? So there are a lot of factors impacting our business operations, but that is also providing us plenty of opportunities to adapt how we operate, the people that support our operation, our employees and our staff. Sorry, I'm just rambling here a little bit. So why I say that, we've been trying to focus on ways to support people having a livable wage by strategically positioning ourselves to having fewer part-time staff and more full-time staff, but less full-time staff than we used to have, so that those full-time staff members can have a pay that is reasonable, that we can support, reasonable sales to salary ratios, and then being a part of VOBA's workforce development programs that are going into year 2, I believe. So it started with bike mechanics, now we're running into ski sessions, and we've actually employed 2 part-time bike mechanics through the program, which have been great additions to the team. And tonight is our last ski mechanics or ski technician class, where we're focusing on binding, certification testing standards, and as well ski tuning fundamentals. And what we're trying to do is support the part-timers through these strategic trainings, but also create a system, framework, and an organizational chart that also supports the full-time staff, the people like you all who are potentially graduating from a school in the near-term future that are looking for a career, or at least a start to a career that can open up doors for the future.
Nice.
Thank you all for listening.
Thanks, Jared.
I don't think I'm going to use a microphone either, if that's okay. My name is Maria Rossi. I'm the Human Resources Manager at Bolton Valley. I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary there, so I'm very new to the, not only the organization, the community, the ski community. I did dabble in with skiing a little bit. Am I good at it? No. Do I like it? Also no. But what I like about the ski community is the community surrounding the outdoors. I think, and I'm just going to piggyback off of both of you, because I feel like we're all trying to create a workforce that we can implement and take the skills that people actually want to know and learn and put them where they feel most comfortable, instead of just being a lift operator, and they want to learn how to, work in guest services. We want to hone in on those skills so that they can, we want to cross-train a lot of people. So I think that's the one thing that this winter is what we're really trying to work toward. So how do we do that? Like you said, there's 16,000 Vermonters who are working currently in the outdoor, and the pool is huge, but small. So we have to really make it, something that people want to do. That means competition is real. The talent is also real. At Bolton Valley, we kind of learned to lean into the things that make us most unique. We are the only resort that offers night skiing and the after-school program. Night skiing, I feel like that's a win for everybody. It, you know, the flexibility with people's schedules, their work schedules. Students, you know, who, you know, have classes until, you know, 4 p.m., they can come up and you know, enjoy the rest of their evening and night until 10 o'clock at night doing the things that they love. And I think one thing UVM is, the ski club is working on is providing transportation on Friday nights to Bolton Valley. Yay, it's gonna be great. Fingers crossed that that kind of falls through. Yeah, totally. And the ASP program, so I'm gonna throw out a couple numbers for you for the ASP that we have. So the after school program, we collaborate with, for the 24-25 year, this season, we had 49 middle schools and high schools that we partnered with. And for the year of 24-25, we had 2,109 students on our mountain. Crazy. And we provided 354 lessons. So keep in mind, you know, for that season, that's one season. We've had ASP since 1970. You know, Bolton Valley opened in 1966, and it's been night skiing ever since, well, I don't know if it was started in 1966, but, you know, we've had night or ASP for a very, very long time. So not only, you know, we have 2,000 kids for 1 year, can you imagine over the last 60 years that we've had? So last year we had 2,200, the 22-23 year we had 1,800, bringing us for the last 3 years, 6,200 kids that we've serviced, and 1,200 lessons. So, you know, we're bridging that gap, you know, between the students who love to ski, and then the parents are like, hey, you know, this is flexibility for us. You know, I get off work, we can all ski as a family together. You know, it just, and then it gives us a natural pipeline, you know, to kind of grab those kids and say, hey, do you want to work? You want to work for us? Hey, you're in high school. You're, you know, 15, 16 years old. You can do these things. So kind of grab them, make sure that, you know, we're providing them with the guest experience to make them also want to provide that guest experience for somebody else if they decided that they wanted to work with us. We also, it's very small right now, but we collaborate with Dave Kaufman through the PRT program. And right now we have 5 students. Last year we had 4. Very short internship, 24 hours. But I'd like to, I think, you know, kind of dabble a little bit more and, you know, pull more kids in and help us out, and, you know, give them the opportunity to learn what it takes to not only run a business, run a ski resort, but to create that community and, you know, continue that passion that people have for skiing. So, you know, fostering a community and culture. So, like I said earlier, creating the cross-training program so that people feel that they're getting everything that they can out of their work experience. So looking ahead, our goal is just to strengthen these pipelines. So expanding the internship partners, deepening the connections with schools, and being intentional about our diverse programs. We do collaborate with the CHILL program. We do also have something called Babe Force, where we have all women lessons. So it's like a couple times a week that we have, and it's a great turnout. So we're just creating opportunities, trying to grow leaders and build a workforce that will carry, you know, Vermont through our economy looking forward. Yeah. Do you want the mic?
I mean,
This
sure,
side.
just to like have the mic.
Get out.
No, I'm good. I mean, it is kind of cool to hold the mic. Can I drop it at the end?
Yes.
I'm going to try to go without the mic as well, if that's all right. Cool, thanks so much. So first, thanks Brian and Kate and Kelly for spearheading this event. I think it's really cool to get people together. I've been involved with VOBA mostly the past few years, but for a while I've known what's been going on with this group. I'm really happy to be here to try to help our students, many of them are in the audience here, make connections and network. And it's really great to see all of the other folks here. I hope I get to meet many of you that I don't already know. And I gotta say, the scone here is amazing. If you haven't had one, like, you should try one of these scones. Because I don't know where you got them, but they're great.
Oh, what's it?
It's real, yeah, Tito's. So, you know, what we're doing here is really talking about connections and community. And the fact is that we are who we know and how we connect with others. And it's so wonderful to see, like, Brian is an alumni of our program. Jenna, who I just ran into, who I think is the education director or something.
Preschool director.
What is it?
Forest Preschool.
Forest Preschool Director, is an alumni of Johnson State College, where I worked for many years. She also used to babysit my kids when they were young. So, you know, it's just really neat to see these connections. I have been in Vermont, and I've worked with the Vermont State College system for 26 years. I started when I was 14. Okay, that was a joke. Some of you got it. Some of you got it. But yeah, I started at Johnson State College in 1999, and I was hired for a new position to teach in their outdoor education degree program at that campus. Over time, many of you probably know if you've been in Vermont for the past 8 years or so, there's been a lot of things happening with the state college system, a lot of changes. It's been very dynamic. And now I find myself for the past 4 years, I've moved to the Linden campus, and that's where we house the outdoor education, leadership, and tourism program out of the Linden campus of Vermont State University. I'm really excited. It's a long drive for me. I live in Waterbury Center over here, and I work up in Lindenville, but it's pretty cool. I got a dorm room I can stay in, and, you know, hang out playing hacky sack with the students. But it's, it's all working out. And I think that the common thread that we have had for the 26 years I've been involved, and actually way, way before I've been involved, is that our program has been setting people up for careers and internships and jobs in the outdoor recreation world and all over the world, literally. We have people who are graduates of our program that are running kayaking businesses in Alaska, that are guiding on mountains and rivers and oceans all around the world, and that are working in Vermont's forest preschools as well. So we have people doing a lot of diverse work in the outdoor field. Along with that, our ski area mountain resort tourism program, or mountain resort management program, has alumni that are running mountain resorts around the country and around the world as well, working in helicopter ski operations, you know, the senior mountain manager at Stowe, the marketing director there. So there's a lot of connections. I also work part-time as a patroller at Stowe on weekends. So I keep myself pretty busy. Our overall objective is to help our students find pathways that they are passionate about and that are going to serve an altruistic cause in the general outdoor realm. And so really, this Career Pathways event for me, and hopefully for them, is to understand the importance of the connections we make with others. So networking, I was just joking, I probably should have done a class on networking on Tuesday so they know what to do today. But I'm glad to see some of them are sitting not together and amongst the rest of you. A few other things I wanted to mention, aside from us preparing future leaders in the field and in the industry, is that our program is generally geared towards people who are seeking either associate's or baccalaureate degrees. So we do have a large cadre of traditional age college students. Yet our program attracts a lot of non-traditional students as well, whether they are seeking a degree or not seeking a degree. Wow, that was quick. So we have stackable credentials. We are the only university that's accredited by the American Mountain Guides Association. So any course that's offered in backcountry skiing, in rock climbing, in alpine climbing, or mountaineering are taught by professionals who have training through the AMGA. We also offer a lot of professional credentials to our students. They become members of the AMGA and get their single pitch instructor credentials. They become members of the American Canoe Association, and they get credentials through them. Leave No Trace master trainers or educators, they get that credential. Wilderness first responder. So we do have people coming in solely for those courses as part of a larger initiative towards workforce development. And we really hope that we can continue to make connections both for traditional and non-traditional students. We bring people in from out of state and serve our state population as well. We also do have internships. All of our students are required to do a 6-credit internship, which is a minimum of 270 hours working with an organization. And if that, paid internships are the best because our students need to earn a living, just as all of us in this room do. And we also have grant funding to support student interns and students doing co-ops so that if the internship doesn't pay or doesn't pay enough, they can often get funding to support their good work with those organizations. So to summarize, I will say our alumni are leaders in the field and in their communities. Brian's a great example, and they provide a network of mentorship for our current students. And while many of our students will seek the grander mountains of the western United States and other parts of the world, a lot of them end up coming back and realizing what is so important about living in this brave little state of Vermont, is being a part of the community and helping things move forward in a sustainable way. Thank you very much. He's using the mic.
I am going to use the mic because my voice does not project, so I got the conch for those that know the reference. My name is Tinote Ndarutanira. I am co-founder and executive director of the Vermont Professionals of Color Network. Our organization's mission is to improve the experience, the representation, and the success of BIPOC professionals and entrepreneurs in the state of Vermont. BIPOC standing for Black, Indigenous, and People of Color in the state. So when I think about how do we accomplish that goal of improving the experience, the representation, and success of BIPOC professionals and entrepreneurs, I think of how do we help people feel that they have a sense of belonging. So we do that through, for example, networking and meetups, just like any other organization would. In terms of the outdoor industry, when I think particularly about what the Surgeon General wrote a couple of years ago about the pandemic of loneliness and isolation, it particularly impacts those in rural areas and those of minority communities. And that is very much so the case with the BIPOC community, who have traditionally not been represented and accepted and welcomed into a lot of outdoor recreational activities, or otherwise have not had a culture of embracing the outdoors because of socioeconomic challenges that they face. So what we try to do as an organization as part of that sense of belonging is to connect with organizations like VOBA, like the Vermont Ski Areas Association, like Unlikely Riders, and work with them to create opportunities for these folks to become a part of the outdoor recreational space, which is a key part of what makes Vermont Vermont. A lot of people have chosen Vermont particularly because of what the outdoor represents for them. And we want that same spirit to live within the BIPOC community. And so we really try to prioritize that as part of our offering, because you cannot then ask somebody to start to maybe perhaps join a board or become civically engaged or look at growing their business or promoting or looking for promotion opportunities if they don't feel like the place in which they live and occupy is a place where they belong or a place where they see themselves in the future. So really part of what we're trying to do as an organization is to have this focus on how do we embrace what is happening outside? How do we kind of take the shackles off literally and metaphorically and go and embrace some of those activities that a lot of the white community have come to know and love, and why they love living in Vermont, why they embrace the winters, and why they want to preserve the environment, because of what they are experiencing. And so that's part of what we are doing as an organization, is to really try to encourage that through partnerships with organizations like VOBA. And then the byproduct of that is that folks who then become actively involved in the outdoors can then see themselves being part of the outdoors. And so then that moves into, how do I maybe get a career in the outdoors? How do I start to participate on boards and in organizations that represent outdoor recreation and activities? So really it's an essential first step in order to get folks in the community engaged. We also have on our website a job board that allows organizations to advertise jobs on their website. So if some of you are involved in organizations, I encourage you to post your jobs on their website. It is the most frequently visited page on our website consistently, and we have organizations that are committed to helping to try to get folks of color employed in their organizations, posting on that website. Additionally, on our website, we have a civic engagement page where nonprofits can advertise board-level positions. There's lots of organizations out there that are looking to diversify their boards. And so an easy way to do that, outside of maybe folks of color going to play golf or belonging to a country club, is to look on our website. And they will see the organizations that are committed to trying to engage with folks of color that can then join those boards and be part of seeing how the wheels of industry and commerce are working, be part of decisions that impact not just white Vermonters, but Vermonters as a whole. And then I think about why some of the programs that we as VTPOC offer. We have a program called Newcomer Nexus, which is a program that helps employers who are looking to recruit people from out of state, because we all know what the unemployment rate is like right now, 2.6%. So with over 20,000 jobs, even if every single Vermonter got employed, we'd still have over 17,000 jobs unfilled. So organizations are looking outside the state. Newcomer Nexus helps with the recruitment side of the process by connecting us with the person that you're potentially recruiting. If they're a person of color, we talk to them about why they would want to live in Vermont. We talk to them about the challenges about living in Vermont, but we also talk to them about why some of us have chosen to live here and for 10, 15, 20 years, and we encourage them to move. And if they do kind of take us up on that, we then assign an ambassador to partner with them for several months while they become acclimatized to Vermont. Take them to Bolton Valley or to Shelburne Farms for apple picking, whatever, just to ensure that that person is part of the community. That is a program that we offer at VTPOC for organizations to take us up on. And the last thing I'll say is Vermont faces some real existential crises. Employment, diversity, population growth is one of the bigger ones, including housing, healthcare, et cetera. But when I talk about population growth, the BIPOC community has grown by 112% between 2010 census and 2020 census. That is where the future firefighters, police officers, ski patrol people, legislators, board members are all going to be coming from. And I encourage you as an organizations and as individuals to invest in that, because in the same way that if I told you there was a stock on Wall Street that was growing by 112% and every other stock was growing negatively, where would you put your money and your investment? So that is what I am appealing to you folks that are here to put that investment into the BIPOC community, because that is where all that growth is coming from for Vermont, and that's where all the positive indicators are showing growth. And I think as a community, we want to be part of the solution, and that is an opportunity for us to do that.
Terrific. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name's Bo Malcolm. I'm from Vermont Youth Conservation Corps. Thank you so much to the North Branch Nature Center for hosting this incredible event, and also to VOBA for organizing this. It's great to be here this morning. So I'll speak about Vermont Youth Conservation Corps, VYCC, provide an overview of our organization. We are a nonprofit based in Richmond, Vermont, so about 25 minutes from here. And it's our mission to take action and build community by working and learning together with the land. I saw that North Branch is celebrating their 30-year anniversary. We're celebrating our 40-year. Excited to be enjoying 40 years in this great state of Vermont. And you might ask, how do we pursue this mission? Well, we do so by offering paid service positions to young people between the ages of 15 and 30 years old. And these positions are focused on offering a great service to Vermont communities through environmental stewardship projects, as well as by offering education and training to young Vermonters across the state. And not only that, but I would say approximately 40% of participants are from the state of Vermont. That other 60, they're coming from all corners of the country. Many participants joining from other states, many of whom join us as AmeriCorps members. On average, VYCC is offering 170 seasonal positions to young people. Our season begins in the month of March and extends through the end of October. And we have a variety of program opportunities. I'm going to talk about the two primary programs. So the first is the conservation program, and that is focused on projects such as trail building, forestry projects that steward Vermont woodlands, water quality projects, removing invasive plants from Vermont's waterways, and build or carpentry projects. And that is primarily focused on the maintenance and construction of new infrastructure on public lands, so primarily working in the state parks. And for a little season snapshot, as of now, there are 6 conservation crews in the field, out there in the rain, doing great work, so approximately 40 people. There are 12 farm leaders on our campus. I'm going to talk more about the farm program in just a moment. And 4 timber framing pre-apprentices. This is a new program as of this year, and these folks are involved in the historical preservation of our campus in Richmond. We have 2 historic barns initially built in the early part of the 20th century. So 1901, the West Monitor Barn and the East Monitor Barn were constructed, and they are currently restoring the East Monitor Barn. So I mentioned the conservation program. We also have a food and farm program that is based on our campus in Richmond. And all of the participants of that program are growing organic produce, thousands of pounds of food that is distributed to over 450 Vermont families experiencing barriers to healthy food. So this is food that is distributed to people in need free of cost to them. Of those program numbers, I mentioned approximately 170 participants in a given year. About 100 of those are conservation crew members, and approximately 70 of those are food and farm crew members. Our organization is very much focused on the completion of great service projects that bring value to the state of Vermont, that bring value to Vermont's waterways and woodlands, but also develops people, develops leaders. I initially joined VYCC 16 years ago as a youth crew member, and it was a transformational experience for me. I met people who were great mentors. It's funny to think back on it because my crew leaders were very likely in their early 20s, but as a 16-year-old, I had no concept, that they were actually very close in age to me, but they had moved away from home. They, perhaps some of them were going to college. They had a kind of wisdom that really spoke to me, and I learned so much. I was an outdoorsy kid. I loved being outside, but I had never done carpentry. I had never built a trail before, and together we did all of these things, and I was left with a great sense of accomplishment. I, subsequently became a classroom teacher. I did undergraduate studies in education. Thank you. Then I returned to Vermont, was working in schools for about 6 years, and then saw the opportunity to return to VYCC and jumped. So I've been there for nearly 3 years now, mainly working as a recruitment officer. We also have like I mentioned, ages 15 to 30 is actually the average or the age range of participants. So we have iterative programming, meaning that we have specific youth programming, entry-level positions for people who perhaps have never had a job before. And we also have advanced crews where people can learn more advanced technical skills, earn industry-recognized credentials like the Game of Logging certification, like Wilderness First Aid. And this can be their stepping stone into a meaningful career in the outdoors, whether that's working for federal, state agencies, or other nonprofits. So for folks in the room who are students, I absolutely encourage you to approach me after this panel. Let's talk if you're interested in seasonal outdoor work, working with young people, stewarding Vermont's natural resources. And if you're an employer, let's also talk, because VYCC is a talent pipeline, is bringing people from across the country who are interested to stay here. However, they can't do that unless they have gainful employment and a place to live. So perhaps we can put our heads together and come up with solutions. And tomorrow, I'm hosting the second annual VYCC Fall Career Fair. I'm very proud to say there's going to be 19 employers present, supposing everyone makes it, after last year's humble beginning of only 6 employers. And I'm looking to grow that event in the future. So let's talk, because you can meet so many talented, inspired, and energized young people at VYCC. Thank you very much.
Okay, it's probably good that I'm at the final end of the table, because I'm going to build on what everybody else has said. And so I represent the University of Vermont's Rubenstein School of Environment and Natural Resources, and I've been teaching in our Parks, Recreation, and Tourism program part-time, full-time for 45 years, and 17 years full-time. And just briefly, so you understand where I come from, I got my career started in the ski industry at Mount Snow in southern Vermont. My dad was one of the original developers of Mount Snow back in the 50s. I was then Assistant Director of Tourism for the state of Vermont. I served 5 terms in the General Assembly, and I had my own tourism marketing company for 20 years before I sold that and thought, what am I going to do now? And the university said, why don't you just teach full-time? So I did. And so that's where I am. But right now, we recognize, probably I recognize, along with many others, that in order to support and expand a thriving outdoor recreation economy, we must have an informed and qualified workforce. And so we are launching January 12th a professional certificate in snow sports and outdoor adventure recreation, or SOAR for short. And we are doing that as the Rubenstein School in partnership with UVM's Division of Professional and Continuing Education, or PACE. And one of PACE's leaders, Maureen Hebert, is sitting right here. Raise your hand, Maureen. And these certificates would not work without the awesome job that PACE does in helping to facilitate them and move them forward. So to try and put this in a nutshell is not really easy, but what I'm going to do is explain the basics, and then you can ask me questions after in the networking portion. But we're going to launch this certificate January 12th. Why January 12th? Because while our target is non-traditional students, people in the workforce that want to add credentials to their resumes, so to speak, and build careers, who didn't go to college, didn't choose to go to college, high school graduates who aren't going to college, somebody who's flipping hamburgers or something like that, that loves the outdoors and thinks, how can I get going in a career? This certificate, this professional certificate, will be ideal for them. But we're also going to make it available for credit to enrolled students at UVM as value added to their degrees. And Brad, with the great job you're doing at Linden State, the certificate program will be open to your students as well. And we met the other day with a representative from Penn State University, University of New Hampshire. We've come up with a way to integrate their students who want an advanced certificate to add value added to their degrees as well. So in simplest terms, the certificate program is going to have 3 core courses. One is Introduction to Snow Sports and Outdoor Recreation Marketing and Sales. Another is environmental responsibility, impacts of climate change in the outdoor recreation industry. Former Commissioner of Forest Parks and Recreation, Mike Snyder, is going to teach that. We've got one introduction to snow sports and outdoor recreation operations, logistics, and risk management. And Scott Reeves is going to teach that, a Linden State alum. And those 3 core courses are going to be 24-hour courses, mandatory. Students will then choose 2 out of 4 electives. One is accessibility for adaptive recreation. One is events. That one will be taught by the head of the Mount Van Hovenberg facility over in Lake Placid, New York. And another would be financial management in snow sports and outdoor recreation. That's going to be taught by Nathaniel Mathis, who's the Chief Financial Officer of Bolton Valley. And another one's going to be Essentials of Human Resources. And that one's going to be taught by John Atkinson, who's Executive Director at Catamount Family Outdoor Center. So you can see that the courses are going to be taught by highly skilled, qualified professionals. They will be capped off by an internship, and the internship will be a minimum of 80 hours. It's going to have to be it will be a paid internship at $20 an hour. So a host of an intern will have to commit $1,700 and change to hosting an intern, but then you can hire the intern. We will guarantee the students' placements in internships, and we will come as close to guaranteeing them as possible of a career track job in the outdoor recreation industry. So that's our certificate. That's how the certificate program is going to work. And how much will it cost? The tuition or the registration fee is $2,900 is what's been decided on, Maureen, and there are scholarships available. Employers can choose to pay for employees. Employees can choose to self-pay. High school graduates can choose to self-pay, but through VSAC, Vermont Student Assistance Corporation's advancement grants, full scholarships are readily available, and the registration information will inform potential students about all of that as well. And let's see, what else did I want to cover quickly here? The registration information will certainly go to VOBA. Kelly and Brian will then distribute it and share it with all of your members. I can make sure it goes to Vermont Youth Conservation Corps, and you can share it, and we will share it far and wide. We want to build a class of an initial cohort of about 35 students. And again, the reason it begins January 12th and it has to end May 1st, it has to fit within the UVM semester in order for enrolled students to take the certificate and get credit for it. And that's just the way it has to be structured. And then we'll be looking for internship hosts, and I just added to my list Josh at Ski Rack. Josh, congratulations on your great success to this point. I love it when former students are achieving great career success, and it makes me very proud. We've got a couple of others at Ski Rack, I think, and we've got a few alums at Bolton Valley, and I might also be knocking on your door to host an intern. And so it's all in the interest of workforce development. And with my many years of experience in the tourism, hospitality, tourism and outdoor industry in Vermont, I recognize that there's been a constant long-term need for more highly qualified, skilled staff that choose the outdoor industry as careers. And the entire focus of this certificate is to advance employment and careers in the fabulous outdoor industry that is so critical to Vermont's economy. I don't think there's anything else I absolutely have to include, and I think that hopefully gives you a quick overview of what we've initiated. And this also builds on a hospitality management certificate, which we launched last April. We've had 2 cohorts of that run through the program so far. I think we've got, 50 plus or minus graduates completing that program, 60? Completing that program, and they will then move into career track jobs in the employee-starved hospitality industry. And once that one was underway, I kind of got it in my head, we need one for outdoor recreation, and that gets us to where we are. We could not do it without the unbelievable support and skill of PACE. That's absolutely essential. That's it. Thanks.
speakers, for sharing your work and stoking culture in the workplace, with your students, with your customers, and also for providing economic opportunity for this sector, through providing the knowledge and the experience for our success. And thank you for sharing your own stories and your own journey, which is so important. We're all here, we've done some incredible work, we've hopped around a number of nonprofits, businesses, enterprises, and what makes us rich with experience and knowing how we can support the future of the outdoor sector. I want to tee up a few happenings to follow. In a new partnership with the Department of Labor and the Climate Action Office, we're excited to lean into a climate jobs initiative in the coming year. And we are excited to support pathways in resilient lands and communities, tourism adaptation, and facility sustainability. Some of the beginning of that project will be in some of our upcoming events. So we invite you to look at our Climate Ready VT workshop with Vermont Businesses for Social Responsibility on October 21st. We are inviting businesses that want to come up with a climate resilient strategy to support their ability to be stable and nimble and strong in the face of climate change, to come to that workshop and gain real knowledge and work with their peers on that strategy. And then, of course, we have our annual outdoor gathering on November 13th at the Brook Mountain Hotel, the 7th annual Vermont Outdoor Economy Summit, where we anticipate 150 businesses, organizations, policymakers, and partners gathering for a day of workshops and special events to celebrate and advance the outdoor economy. Thank you to the North Branch Nature Center for having us here today. And as you heard, Matt and Emily will be doing indoor-outdoor tours for those that are inspired to stay past the 10 o'clock hour. Until then, thank you for coming out today. Network, there's one scone left, so run on the table. Really excited. Hopefully the conversation's going, and however Boba can help you in the coming months, let us know. If you're not a member, we encourage you to be a member so you can continue to be part of these events and other initiatives that we're hosting to support the outdoor economy. So thank you all for coming.